Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has hidden unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure, or admire an old one. What will we find today? Let's dig in. Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
We sleep, 7 or 8 hours a night? Some more, some less. But while we're asleep, we're pretty much out of commission. We don't get any work done. No dishes get washed, no bathrooms cleaned, the grass doesn't get mowed. We wake up in the morning to the work left over from the day before. Legos on the floor, the house just as we left it. But that's the way God made us. We need time when our body's asleep to rest and relax. We need quite a few consecutive hours of sleep each night to be rejuvenated and ready for the next day. God even gives us darkness at night so we won't get disturbed and we can relax. If you think about it, the fact that we need sleep is rather humbling. We can't just continue working 24/7. Our body would go into shock and break down after just a few days. This shows our weakness, our limitations, our humanity. We have to rest while the world goes on. God doesn't have this limitation. Psalm 121 says, "He who keeps you will not slumber. Behold, he who keeps Israel will neither slumber nor sleep." Isn't that a comforting thought? While we sleep and are out of commission for hours at a time, a third of our day, He is wide awake, continually working, keeping the natural laws in place so that the earth still moves around the sun. Oxygen is readily available to breathe, and the oceans stay in place. He's protecting us from things we don't have control over. He's keeping our heart beating, our lungs breathing. And just think, while we sleep, people on the other side of the world are just beginning their day. And He's in charge of every little detail of their lives, too. That's the God we have. He's always awake and active. Back in 1 Kings 18, Elijah set up a contest on Mount Carmel between the idols of Baal that the people had been worshiping and the one true God. Whichever God consumed the offering by fire would be the one that they would worship. He let the 450 prophets of Baal go first. Elijah wasn't worried. He knew that his God was the only living and true God. Elijah could do nothing. The prophets of Baal found out that they could do nothing either. In 1 Kings 18:26 through 29, it says, "And they took the bull that was given them, and they prepared it, and called upon the name of Baal from morning until noon, saying, 'O Baal, answer us.' But there was no voice, and no one answered. They limped around the altar that they had made. And at noon Elijah mocked them, saying, 'Cry aloud, for he is a god. Either he's musing, or he's relieving himself, or he's on a journey, and perhaps he's asleep and must be awakened.' And they cried aloud and cut themselves after their custom with swords and lances, until the blood gushed out upon them. And as midday passed, they raved on until the time of the offering. But there was no voice, no one answered, no one paid attention. If it weren't so sad, it would be kind of funny. Hey, maybe your God is asleep. Yell louder, wake him up." Even if that had worked, who wants a God that might sleep through your crisis? Who wants a God who takes vacations and leaves you on your own? Let's see what happened when it was Elijah's turn in verse 36. "And at the time of the evening offering, Elijah the prophet came near and said, 'O Lord, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, let it be known this day that you are God in Israel, and that I am your servant, and that I have done all of these things at your word. Answer me, O Lord, answer me, that this people may know you, O Lord, are God, and that you have turned their hearts back.' Then the fire of the Lord fell and consumed the burnt offering and the wood and the stones and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces and said, 'The Lord, He is God! The Lord, He is God!'" Yes, the Lord, He is God. He is our omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent God. That means He's our all-knowing, all-powerful God who's always with us. That's the kind of God we want, the kind of God we need. He has no limitations, and He's always with us, holding our hand, whether that's in the middle of the night when we can't sleep, or in the car on the way to church, or in our busy office where we work. He's always a prayer away. All we have to do is reach out to Him.
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. Also, if you'd like to share a treasure God has given you by doing an episode, please contact us. You can listen to other episodes on our website, which you'll find in the description below. Thanks for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.